What's going on, stackers? So in this video I'm going to be sharing with you what to do when your low content book sales are slow. So, welcome back to Stacking Profit. My name's Paddy, and over here we give you the tools and resources to learn, grow and master passive income streams so that you can live a life of freedom. Now, like I said in this video, I'm actually going to share with you 12 things to do when you have slow, low content book sales. Now, if you have sales or slow sales, then don't worry. Every low content book publisher goes through this, but most don't know what to do. So in today's video, I want to go through 12 actionable tips to help you through these times. Now stick around till the end because this will be a value-packed video. So let's go ahead and dive straight in. Now, before we actually dive into the video, there is one more thing that I want to talk about. Because I don't mean 12 things that you can do if you're not making sales, but what you can do when you have slow sales, because there's multiple reasons that your book sales may be slow. The niche that you're in may be more popular at certain times of the year. There may be also a lot more books from when you first published, and they may be better than your book. Again, there's going to be a lot of different reasons why you may have slow book sales, so what I want to do is just share with you some actionable tips that you can take away and that you can do when you have slow book sales. So, the tip number one, first tip, that is reevaluate your back-end keywords to see if there are any improvements that you can make. So when it comes to publishing books on Amazon or through KDP, there's always a few different things that you can change. You can always update your cover, you can always update your interior, and we can change the descriptions and also your back-end keywords. So what you can do is go over to your books, reevaluate your keywords to see if there's any improvements that you can make. Now, I don't mean change all of your keywords, far from it. Now, if we scroll down to here, with your keywords, you might look at them and there might be one or two that doesn't really make sense to your book. So you can change them out for more relevant keywords for your books. Again, don't go and change absolutely everything, just look for irrelevant keywords that you may have added here in your book and then possibly update them. So this can potentially help as well. Another thing that you can do is check your sales history so you can see what has been selling and see if you can make more similar books. Now this is something that I do as well. I'm always going through the data of my books, seeing what's selling, see what's sold this month, last month, the previous month, or this time of year, seeing what's popping off and seeing if I can create more similar books. Now, the best way that I personally do this is by using Get Book Report. This is just my favourite or preferred software to check all my sales data. But within here, if we go to all time, we can filter by yesterday, last week, this month, last 30 days, this year, quarterly, monthly, yearly, or custom. So I can go in and check my sales for a certain time of year, see what types of books were popping off, and see if I can make more similar books within that niche. Because if a book has sold in a certain niche for me, that proves that I have a niche that works for me. Now, I'm not going to go and rip off my own books, but create similar books within that niche, targeting the same type of audience. Another tip is to research new ideas. See, ideas are free. You can spend a few hours to see if you can come up with some new ideas. Now, are all of these new ideas going to work? No, far from it, but you want to get those creative juices flowing. Now, when it comes to researching new ideas, you can look at trends. So you could use something like Google Trends and see what's happening around the world to see if there's any book ideas that you can come up with. New ideas can also come in the form of holidays. So every year Halloween comes around. Same with Christmas, Thanksgiving, back to school. There's so many great ideas that you can come up with and test. Another tip that I want to share is update some of your book descriptions. Now, depending if you use keywords within your description, this will also help you get found in Google over time. Now, when it comes to KDP, your title and your subtitle hold the most weight for keywords, and then it comes down to your back-end keywords after that. But your descriptions do not get indexed by Amazon. So do not think that this is going to help you in the Amazon algorithm. This is best for search engines like Google. So if you use relevant keywords within your descriptions, this is going to help you get searched or indexed by Google. And if you get indexed by Google over time, this can help with your sales, as quite a lot of people just search Google for what they need. Again, use relevant keywords in your description, and over time you will get indexed. Another tip is set up an author central and make everything look professional. Now, you might already have an author central, so you might not want to do this, so listen out for the next tip. But if you don't have an author central, go and set one up now. It's completely free to do so, and it just makes everything look a lot more professional. Now, one of the main reasons that I like using an author central as well is that it helps you from getting hijacked by other people. So there's a lot of unethical people who publish books, and they like to try and piggyback off your pen name, which is a no-no. So setting up an author central actually helps with this. Now, what do I mean? Let me show you. So right here, there's two books just here. This one has no author central. We know that because this pen name just here is not clickable. Whereas if we look just here at this book, this link, this pen name is clickable. So this one has an author central, this one doesn't. If you don't have an author central and you click through or go through to the publisher and then click on their name, so if we go through to there and then click on here, it's going to look like this. So if someone out there was to take this pen name and then create their own books, all of their books and your books are going to be together on this first page. Whereas if you have an author central and then click through, let's go through to this one, and then if we click on their pen name, we get an author central like this. And this just looks a lot more professional, and again, it's going to stop you from getting hijacked. So that's one of the best reasons that you can actually go ahead and set up an author central. Now, if you already have an author central, then think about revamping your pen name / brand or author central to make things look even more professional. So this is something that I do from time to time. I'll go through my brands on KDP or on Amazon, taking a look at the logo, taking a look at everything, the branding, the color scheme, everything like that, to see if I can improve. So right here on this author central, we can see that they've taken this from one of their books, their actual best-selling books, and just have that there. With me, if I did something like that to begin with, I could then come through, take a look, think, oh no, I don't actually want that, and then I'd maybe think of creating a logo, and then with that logo I'd think about the colour schemes, and then I'd think about adding that into my books as well. Branding plays a huge part in how your customers perceive your brand. If your brand doesn't look that great or very professional, you're not going to make as many sales as you could if you had everything looking professional. Again, revise or revamp your branding. Take a look at your logo, the color scheme, your books, and everything to see where you can improve. Do you have to do this? Of course you don't. These are just tips that I want to suggest. Another tip is adding A+ content to your books. Now, this is best suited for books where you want your customer to see inside the book. So for a standard notebook or journal or something like that, or a composition notebook, there probably wouldn't be much point in creating A+ content. But if you have something like a puzzle book, a colouring book, or even a planner. You could create A+ content so people can see within your book. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, again, let me show you. So what I've done is pulled up a few different books so I can share with you and so you can see what A+ content actually is. Now, this is one book that I found that actually has this. So let's scroll down. A+ content is going to be just down here from the publisher. So you can create this for your books so that your customers can see inside, and you can list the benefits, what the book's about, and you can put a lot more information here than you can in your descriptions. Now, what this essentially is just a little mini sales page. Now, this is one example. I also have another one just here for this book. If we scroll down, we can see that just here, and we can see how they've created their A+ content. Again, I've done another example just here for this book, and if we scroll down to here, we can see their A+ content as well. So they've got Colour Your Way to Calm. They have their book just there, a little graphic that looks like from the book, and then the pages which are inside. So again, think of this as a little mini sales page for your books. And this can really help with your sales because people can see what they're actually getting with your books. So think about adding A+ content to the books that are relevant. And remember, don't really make them for a notebook or a standard journal or something like that, because it's kind of pointless. Another tip is to start a blog for your brand. Now, if you put the time or put in the time and effort, then this can really pay off over time. Now, think of this as a long-term strategy. This isn't going to happen overnight. This will take months, if not years. But if you start today, think where you can be within a year or two. Now, having this, a website for your brand, can also help you send people, traffic and customers to your books, which in turn can make more sales. Now, if you have your own website and you're sending traffic to your own books over on Amazon, well, Amazon actually loves this. They love seeing that you're sending your own traffic to your listings. So it's another great reason to start a website. Now, a lot of you aren't going to put in the effort to actually go ahead and start creating this, but this is all part of building a brand online and a community of people that love your books. Now, if you consistently do this and add to your blog and provide a lot of value, then over time you could be sending thousands, if not tens of thousands of people to your books, and you wouldn't have to rely as much on organic sales. So really think about starting a blog, a website for your brand. Now, another tip that I want to share is make sure that your books are reasonably priced. Don't overprice or underprice your books. So I've seen time and time again people just trying to sell simple notebooks. It's a simple notebook with a graphic, cute quote, which does look okay, but they're pricing their books at $8.99 or even $9.99. Now, if someone sees a standard notebook on the first page of Amazon after they've searched, and yours looks good but is priced $8.99, and then they see another one which looks just as good but it's priced at $6.99, they're more than likely going to buy the $6.99 one. Now, this kind of goes for underpricing your books as well. If they see a book which is priced the cheapest that you can actually price your books, let's say $3.99, then they're going to perceive that as not very good quality. So what I did in the beginning was look on Amazon when I was doing my research to see what books are priced in my niche, and then price round about the same price. Again, don't overprice your books and don't underprice them either. Make sure they're reasonably priced. Another tip is to learn about social media marketing. Social media is a great way to market your books, and it's free. But there's a lot to learn. You can do Facebook marketing, TikTok marketing, Pinterest. There's so many different social media outlets that you can use, but the best thing to do in the beginning is pick one and then master that one before moving on to others. Now again, this is going to fall under branding. If you look at all the big low content book pen names, brands on Amazon, they all have a website, they all have social media, they all have an email list, because this is part of branding and their marketing strategy. Now, building up social media pages and things like this for your brand or your pen name for your books will allow you to send traffic, get customers and visits to your books. But again, everything takes time. But if you're consistent at posting on your social media, you will get results. But again, just understand that it all takes time. But remember, social media is free. Now, one thing I like to say is, do you have more time than money or more money than time? If you have more time than money, then really think about building out social media for your brand. Again, this can be Facebook, TikTok, Pinterest, or whichever social media outlet you decide to use. But again, it's free. So if you have more time than money, then start building out your social media. If you have more money than time, then learn how to run Amazon ads, because this is a great way to get your book seen by your ideal customer, and Amazon gets billions of visits each and every month, literally billions on Amazon.com. Now, learning to run in ads is a process, but you also have to have money that you're willing to lose. You can't get good at running advertisements on Amazon if you're scared about losing money. Now, I'm not talking about thousands or tens of thousands, because you can literally start running ads from day one with just a $5 a day budget. But you have to be willing to lose money to actually get good at ads. Now, why is that? Because everything comes down to practice. Practice and repetition, and running ads comes down to a lot of testing. If you start to run ads right out the gate and you think you're going to be profitable, well, that's not realistic. Again, you have to be willing to lose some money. Now, the next tip is take a break for a while. Now, this is the last tip that I want to talk about, but a lot of people don't talk about this. Now, if your sales have slowed down, then maybe take a break for a few days to get your mental energy back. Now, you probably have a life. You might have a family. You might have a social life. You might have a 9 to 5. So you might be doing all of that while trying to work your side hustle, and altogether this can get overwhelming. So take a break for a few days, or just 1 day or 3 days, or even a week. You want to take that time just to recharge your batteries so you can come back and have more motivation with your business. If you've got slow sales and don't really feel like working, then really take a break. Again, for a week, a day, 2 days, it's up to you. See, another thing that most people don't actually talk about is that running your own business can be stressful. You might be learning about marketing, like in one of the previous tips. You might be learning about everything, and everything can get on top of you and you can feel overwhelmed. So again, it's very important to take a little break. So, out of all these tips which I just shared with you, out of all of them, this one is probably the best tip that I can give you. Take a break for a while. So, that's all the tips that I wanted to share. If you have slow sales, then don't worry about it. Again, it can be multiple reasons. It can be that the niches that you sell in sell more at certain times of the year. There could be even more books on the platform in your niches, or a number of things. Again, most people don't actually know what to do when they have slow sales and just don't tend to do anything. Now, that doesn't fall under taking a break. That's just because they don't know what to do. Now, with me personally, as you can see from all these tips which I just shared, there's always something that you can do. So take these 12 tips and start implementing them when you have slow sales. Now, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Also, go hit subscribe and hit that little bell icon so you can be notified for any further videos. That being said, I've been Paddy, this has been Stacking Profit, and I'll see you again soon.